We drove west through the desert because Jeff had a dream about crashing in the ocean and won't fly anymore. I tried to explain to him that he wouldn't be over anything bigger than a lake, but that probably didn't help. I thought the ocean would at least be a softer landing. While I drove, he told me what he could remember. Jeff didn't recall taking off or even where they were going, but all he could see underneath was water. The view was amazing because he described the windows as being huge, like what you'd see in a subway car, lined up and down the entire length of the plane. A slight bump, and they were hurtling toward the surface, slipping down into the water without losing speed. Sounds more like a nightmare, I said. Yeah, you'd think so, but I wasn't scared at all when I woke up. Wasn't even breathing hard. My eyes just opened, and there I was, staring at the ceiling in the dark. So I sat and thought about it. What really bothered me is that I wasn't scared in the dream either. He paused for a moment. Everyone around me thrashed and screamed, but I couldn't hear them, only a faint roar like when your ears pop. We were surrounded by this big empty blue that gradually grew dark as we sang, and I just sat there with my arms on the armrests. That was it, he said. Waves of dunes rolled past us as his fingers played nervously with the vent on the dashboard. The flow of cool air interrupted. Open, close, open again. Thanks for driving, he said. No worries. We drove west through the desert because Jeff's cousin was getting married. At the moment, we were missing the bachelor party. They called Jeff's phone to ask why we weren't there yet, trying to hurry us. He was polite, but I could hear their muffled tones that they were pressing him, pushing his patience. They were drunk, and everyone knows the calls from drunken friends when they want you to join them and contest anyone's limits. We still had a couple hours yet to drive. We were headed for Corona del Mar. As we crossed state after state, we watched the display on the dashboard creep from the mid-80s to just under 115. Running the AC guzzled gas, but every time we opened the door, the desert heat would blast in and chase all the cool air out. I gave up figuring my gas mileage and hoped that it wasn't killing my account. Jeff would pitch in a few bucks once in a while or buy me a burger, but he didn't have much. His family was loaded. He wasn't. Jeff was too generous. I met Jeff when I started on as a line cook at the same restaurant where he worked. He waited tables because he had people skills. One of my first nights after a training shift on the dinner rush, I headed out to the front to sit at the bar and have a couple beers. When I turned the corner, I stopped to pat my pockets, hoping it looked like I was searching for my wallet, pack of cigarettes, picture of my cat, anything as long as it looked convincing. I just needed to get back around the corner so I could sneak a peek at the girl at the bar, because I knew without a doubt if I sat down across from her, I would stare. The closing manager came out of the office to do a walkthrough and caught me. I asked if he knew who she was. Ah, the blonde. Jeff's girlfriend. She's a looker, eh? I suppose they're engaged or something, I said. I didn't even really know Jeff at that point, but I already felt sorry for him in a way. I can only imagine how every snake that saw her tried to tempt her away. I still wanted her. No, not engaged, but they've been together for... Oh, hold on, he said, and nodded as Jeff came around the corner, rushing past us, still wearing his work uniform and a grin while stuffing a wad of bills into his wallet. Looks like you made some bank, Jeff. Yeah, made ends meet tonight, Jeff said, and I followed him back out to the front. I sat across from him and his girlfriend and ordered beer after beer, trying the worst way to hate him. See him chew his food with his mouth open, to catch him disrespect her and prove how unworthy he was. Jeff didn't look like a beefcake. He wasn't skinny either. Despite his happy grin, he had dark bags under his eyes. But we did get slammed at business that night. Jeff bought a beer and had the bartender set it in front of me, tipping his own to salute me as he slipped his arm around her. Some people are nearly impossible to hate. 6 months later, as Jeff and I were becoming good friends, she left him. She moved to San Diego and decided to go on with school. Jeff had planned to join her when she was settled, but she called one night and asked what he planned to do once he got there. He told her he heard tips were great out on the coast. She said he didn't sound very ambitious. She told him she didn't think she loved him anymore. She told him to stay home. Jeff talked me into driving down to see her after the wedding because he wanted to talk to her. He wanted to talk face to face one last time.